looks attractive. Demas has forsaken me. Got to get out in the world because I love this. That you love it until the crop starts coming up. Then what you're doing starts coming back and you're like, whoa, Jesus. Can you end that? No, Jesus said you planted it, you got to harvest it, you got to come in, you got to use it up, and don't plant anymore. It's like the guy went along and he said, you know what? I planted this cornfield, and I'm going to go out and plant all the morning glories out there I can plant. See, some of you don't know what that means. Ooh. Oh. Morning glories look all right on the back porch, but not in the cornfield. You know why? What do morning glories do to the corn? Choke it. You can say, well, I like pretty green grass among mine. I'm not going to plow my corn. I'm going to go sow me some Johnson grass up in there too. What? But you see, the not knowing, ignorance is here. You don't want Johnson grass growing in a field? What does it do to corn? Captures the roots, starves it to death, and gets big. You know that? But then you make mistakes out here thinking it's good, because if it looks good out here, if it looks good in a teaspoon, you'll swallow it. Yeah, anything. And if you think for a while, you'll start realizing, you know, my life's not going very well. Well, God lets you do this for an extended period of time, as long as it takes for the scales to come from your eyes. Paul found himself out here, and he came to the light. All right? But in our day and time, Christian believism is easy. So somebody comes along and reads the Bible and says, you know what, it'd make a good preaching if I can get a bunch of people together and I'll tell them that it's payday someday, and you know what's going to happen? If you're not right and whatever you're doing, if you're arguing with your husband and wife and Jesus comes, you'll spend eternity in hell. So they spread that junk. But it's actually coming from here, because it's dethroning Jesus to even think that. Why? He says he gives you life eternal. You know what that means? It means it's eternal. When he gives you life eternal, he doesn't take it back. Otherwise, it's not eternal. Eternal. But eternity's not here. Eternity's here. And you have to work at it. You say, well, Brother Bob, I'll have to give up a lot of things. Well, some of the things you've got when you're in the darkness you don't need. Which ones you need to get rid of? You know, there's a song, take your candle, run to the darkness. So we have to take light to those that are in the dark. Christian people entangled in the dark. People who are not Christians entangled in the dark. But we got a message for those that are entangled in the dark and don't know Jesus. We can present Jesus to them by our life and by our teaching, and they can come to the light. But some of us have not been successful staying in the light. We want to drift. Why? It's a lot more fun in the darkness. Any of you had fun in the darkness? It's a season. What about the second season? Is there a penalty for living in the darkness? Yeah. Yeah. But he wants you to walk in the light and stay in the light. If Jesus says, I got a cage I can build and you can stay in the light, he can put mine up. I don't even want to need one. I just want to stay here. Let me get right under the light and I'll be right here. And I'm going to do everything the light leads me to do and live the life the light wants me to live. Or I can take some easy out, say, well, I know I go down here at the church and I know that the Lord wanted me to move and go somewhere else, but you know, I'm on the deacon committee and we have a meeting once a year, so I really don't want to give that up. Once a year? Oh, well, it could be that, yeah. If it's not raining, it's not anything, if it's real convenient, I'll be anything else to do, then once a year I'll go. But now don't work me to death now. I'm right here. Ain't that good? I'm good as everybody else. You see, we don't want to be saddled with the responsibility that goes for walking in the light. Is there responsibility here? Yeah. You obey His commands. Yeah. Yeah. Because what you don't know, if you're living right here, what you don't know, I don't know how you can measure what you don't know living right here. Because you don't know the right actions, the right things to do, what to be obedient, what to be involved in. Right here you can overthink everything. I know I'm a Christian, but I can overthink, and you turn it into something else with all your gyrations. And when you ought to be doing this, you're over here doing this. What? But you see, the world wants to lure you, because this spot right here, for us that are in this business, that talking to people, this is the yellow brick road. All right? Now, where does the yellow brick road lead? Anybody know? The Weezer's house, yeah. Yeah, Woollyburger house. It'll lead there, but you look at it, looks good. Make it look as good as it can. Good job, you know, whatever. Marry somebody and live in a nice house, and we can have everything worked out. Oh, yeah. This looks real good. So how far down through here have you looked? Well, looks like there's a curve right here coming. Yeah. But you commit so much of your life to having it good and having it easy and having it comfortable and have it flowing right just the way you want it and no bumps. Got it all worked out. You say, well, I've got this. You know, I'm Bob Sanders. I'm smart enough to do this. Maybe not everybody else, but I can do this. I'm real good at this. So I'm and the devil will plant something else that looks a little bit good. Something way deep inside says, run to the light. Whew. Okay. Don't let that get on you anywhere. Why? All that I need and promised is in the light. Run from the darkness if you're drifting into it. And people do. Well, I don't need to go to church up there. Brother Bob gets up there and talks about all this stuff. I don't know if I need to get up there or not. Maybe I can go to a place where they kind of do that social gospel over here. So I think I'll go over there. It's going to be easier. I can sing in the choir. I can be on the deacon board once a year. And they have a work day at church, and I'll be busy. Yeah. Yeah. So your thinking is saying, maybe we can find a balance here. Here. Looks good for a while. So how long can you stay here? This looks good. Whew, this will be great. Every time I get over here, one of them Woollyburgers shows up. What is that? Well, what he's doing, he's waiting to see if he can find a way to get in. No. Lord, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot going over there. Sorry. Whew. You see, in the darkness, it's everything all at once. In the light, it's one thing at a time. It is. So what will he do? He'll hit you with everything. Everything. Hit you with everything. All at once. Now you're overloaded. In the light, he'll give you one thing at a time that you can do, because in the light, Jesus remembers that you're just dust. Yeah, he remembers that you're dust. I'll give you one thing at a time. And it'll be a blessing. And I can accomplish something. Yeah. In your spiritual gifts, work in the light. So some of you theologians, does your spiritual gifts work here? If at all, not well. Because you got to present people with the light. They need the light. They need the light. But you have to live the light for them to see it. I'm not saying L-I-F, I'm saying L-I-G-H-T. Why, who is the light? I'm the light of the world. Shines in the darkness. And you get up here and you think, whoo, Lord, all these things. He says, I'll forgive them all. Just work in the light, live in the light. Let the light provide for you. You don't have to start hunting all these different things. I don't have to get over here. I think, well, we'll look down through here. All these people are doing pretty good. Oh, they're not doing all that good. Okay. Come to the light. And it'll point out some things in you. Now, if you got a personality disorder, where does it live? Old nature. Is your born-again person birthed with any kind of flaw or defect? Or is it without spot or wrinkle? But your life, however, may have some spots and some wrinkles. But maybe it'd be better if you just shut up and got in the light and quit talking. Yeah. So if you have a great need, what do? Get into the light and stay here. Who helps you do that? Well, verse 2:11.